for the computer. Okay. Hi, everyone. We are trying to do pair programming on the issues for accessibility tests. And we'll do a bit in application and then a bit in the UI. Okay, so let me share my screen first. Or maybe we can start with the UI. I think that might be actually a bit quicker. Do you mind starting with that?
Yeah, sounds good. Let's go experimental.
Yeah, well, in the application, it's sometimes very tricky to actually find the elements you need to fix, and we won't have that problem in UI.
Cool. Let's give it a try. Well, I'm gonna share my screen then. Well, let me first set things up a little bit. Okay, so I have the GitLab UI repo opened, and now I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna share second desktop. You can see my screen now, right?
Yes. Okay.
So yesterday I created some issues in GitLab UI to cover the accessibility test for a group of components. So I'm gonna find the GitLab UI epic. I think it is this one.
Yeah.
And we have all of these components. So I think that we could focus on one, like, I think that the most complex one, because it has like the largest combination of states, is the bottom. So if we want to cover both type of tests, the components one and the pages one in the product, then it's probably better to choose one that is like not that complex. So yeah, let's go then with the label. I think that is like a middle point. So maybe like let's go through the issue. The issue is quite simple, and it's basically like describing what to test and how, pointing to the documentation. I didn't put instructions here because they might get updated over time, and it's just better to update a single place. So I'm gonna open the label component in the history book. And okay, here's the label component. And what I did when I was creating the issues was like, what states of the component look visually different? So I started with the default state, and then I noticed that when you hover over it, it has an underline. When it becomes active, it also has a visual representation, and then it has also there are scope labels that have like that they are grouped by a category. So I went through those states, not necessarily like they don't map one-to-one to the stories here in this book. But we can use the controls here to change the component state and in Cypress, and then run the Xcore test.
Do you think we should test all color combinations?
Well, in this case, the label accepts all background colors. Like you can set an RGB code, so it wouldn't be possible.
Yeah, I'm thinking because well, we can assume that whoever is designing the labels would do that during the designing of the new label variant, right? Or can it be any color?
It can be any color. Like if you see here in the control, the background color is it receives an RGB color as input. So in that case, I think that it is controlled by the user. I don't think that we can do it.
Yeah, there is an option to choose that in the UI of the application. Yeah, that might be a good point to point it out in the documents, like how to create a label, to have that in mind.
Yeah. Also, like I know that we've had we use a color algorithm to choose the text color based on the background color. So it is calculated.
Okay.
But I don't know how we could test that in this context. Maybe we could test using a label with a light color, and then using maybe a dark. Oh, there is a little. We run into a little bug. I don't know, like which color we could test. So it is this appears as white text. Maybe like if I go, I don't know, I'm gonna do like the simplest thing that I can do.
Yeah.
It's just like setting black. Oh, they didn't change.
Maybe because of the error.
Yeah. Well, let me reload the page then.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
Is this a color picker next to the numbers? Maybe we can use the color picker instead. Yeah.
Sure. Oh, that's much better. Thank you.
But I think now it won't update because we got the error.
Oh, let me reload again.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Yes.
See, that's really nice. So when it has a white color, sorry, a dark color, then the text changes. So what we could do in the test is just like create two color literals. For example, it could be this one, and test the color contrast in those cases.
Yes.
Then in that case, add that here to the issue so that we know that we are also covering that kind of state. Labels, light colors, light backgrounds. Dark background. There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So there it is. Cool. So let's get started. This is the first time for me also writing a test. So I'm gonna just like go through the instructions that Raul wrote. Let me first check. Oh, I have something going on here. I'm gonna to roll back all of that. Update my main branch. Okay, now let's run the storybook locally. What is the problem now? I think that I have to update the fonts, I think. The font package. Well, there was a lot outdated in my local environment, including Cypress.
Do you often contribute to UI repository? I've never done it actually.
To GitLab UI? Well, I used to. I'm a maintainer of the repo. I was part of the working group that initially created the library. But these days I don't contribute that much. I usually like the most of the things that I do is just doing maintenance reviews. Okay, so now that's working. So while that is running, let's see the instructions here. So when Raul was writing these instructions and testing our technical strategy, the idea is that we wanted to make the process of testing a specific state in the component super easy. So it could be like as simple as just setting the URL that represents the state that we want to test, and then just calling the check the score assertion. And then like we can set these arguments here. With these arguments, we can test, for example, change these parameters and set up a custom background color or something like that. So let's, I think that it should be super easy. The other part is that if you see that he wrote an example where we are separating each test in a different function, but at the end, like running everything in a single one. And that's because that's what Cypress recommends. Otherwise, it would like restart the test engine and it could make the test slower.
I like it because then it gives you a list what actually is tested in one file, and you don't have to go through all the examples in a file.
So, can you say that again?
Yeah, I like it because it gives you like a summary list of what is tested in the file in the end.
Yeah, that's true. It's like yeah, that's right. Okay, so let's see. We have the Cypress folder here. I don't remember how to run the test either. So let's try that. Let's find the command to do that. Or is it in the documentation? Maybe.
Yeah.
It is. Okay, so I'm gonna open and run the Cypress. The Cypress command. And this is gonna be. Let me move this screen here. Oh, this is like a shiny new version. I didn't expect that. Okay, so end-to-end testing. I want to use. I'm gonna start. What should I choose? Like now I have like decision paralysis here.
Well, yeah, let's go with the green button and just start with the Firefox as default. Yeah.
Okay. It is opening something else. Here it is. So this is a very cool dashboard. I guess if I choose a test, yeah, they run. And it is running here live. This is very, very neat.
Yeah.
And if you hover over the steps, it's just like showing you what the test was asserting. That's really cool. Okay, so I'm gonna then create a new test file for the labels. Call it label.ci.js. And call it label. And looking at the instructions here, I should call the test like this, so it's easier to identify. And then we want to name every function the state that we are targeting.
Yes, so the list we have here.
We have default label, which is probably kind of a redundant state if I think about it, because it's gonna be, it could be like it is using the default color. So I don't know if that is different from a light or dark background, but I won't care about that right now. Let's just like go and implement the first one, right?
Yes.
Compile here. I'm gonna call it function. Let me see if this appears immediately here in the list of specs. Yeah, it is here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. That's the first one screen.
Yeah.
And then I'm going back to the instructions, and I have like two commands here that I'm just going to copy.
Mm-hmm.
It's base. Let me see what is the URL for the labels. Just base / label in that case, I think. I don't know if I have to pass the default here. Anyways, I'm gonna
let's see.
Let's see.
Okay, but we've got the preview with the label.
Oh, that's right. So it's opening the story in the correct way. So what is the meaning of this error?
Can you show the stack trace?
Yeah.
Does it?
Should I?
And wrap them in return. Could this be something in the geocheck accessibility function that we're using?
Let's see. I see that we are not doing anything that would be exactly what the example says. That you return a promise from a command while invoking one or more CI commands in that promise. Let's see, like, if this is something in the implementation of the visit story command. Right? Because it seems like we are invoking more than one command in there, and it's doing it in a way that Cypress understands is incorrect. But yeah, we are like we're invoking 3 commands. But what is it? Let me put the code next to the error message and see if I can identify what's the problem. Are we calling maybe? I don't see any promise chain in there either. So I don't know what it means by that.
Is there a like replay button? We can try it.
Yeah.
I think if the error showed when we're changing, we're probably like changing the path, and maybe that's when it happened. Like it ran before we got the path right or the function right.
Well, that's
that
great. Thank you for recommending that.
Yeah, nice. And it passes.
Like it does. But where is it? Oh, okay. 0 accessibility violations were detected. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's just then go to another state and see if we can. Let's try like doing something fun. Then let's do something like try to test a hover state, because I don't know how we simulate that in there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Check hover label state. So I guess that we can go to the same story. Then let's find out how you can simulate hover state Cypress. So it should be easy.
Oh,
No, it
that's
is
why
not.
hover. No, it's not. Workarounds. Does not have. Oh, I just. Oh no, using trigger will only affect JavaScript and not trigger any effects in CSS, and that's why we actually want to do.
Will you say that again?
I'm looking at the trigger, the red box saying that it will not affect CSS, and that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
To trigger the styles.
That's really bad. Let me see. What can we do then? I guess that's because triggering mouse over is just the same thing that we would do from the developer console. A workaround, check a recipe, leveraging Chrome remote debugging to set pseudo classes over CSS.
Let's see.
Okay, where is the recipe?
There's testing the DOM below that table. There's another one. Maybe there. If you scroll down.
Maybe this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that I should go to the solution here.
Yeah.
Okay, mouse events. I think this is pretty
Required.
much what they were saying in the documentation, right? It's just like using trigger and passing the events. Oh, we can.
No, I'm thinking if we use it, do we use classes on hover to add different styles, or is it just hover state invoking the styles?
Let's see. A good idea. I'm gonna set the hover state here and see what happens.
Maybe, yeah, maybe on the link below. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's styling the hover state.
Yeah.
In that case, like something else that we could do is that this hover state is also simulated by focus. Like it has the same visual styles.
Yes.
So maybe we can use that focus state and test that.
Hover at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's try that. Let's see if we can do focus here. That would be bad news if we couldn't. Oh no, we can.
Okay, good.
Okay. Okay. So we have to choose a DOM element here. And if we're using data test ID for ideally we want to use a data test ID, I think.
Yeah, but if we just have one element, we could use the class for the like main component class maybe as a selector. Select
Um,
GL-label.
yeah.
Because it's out without any other context. It's just a label on the page, nothing else.
Or maybe there is a way of selecting the component by text. I don't know. I mean, well, let's try first with the component main class then. Get label.
GL, right?
Oh,
GL.
yeah, label. Thank you. Focus. And then we can say yield check. Okay, let's see how that works. Same error.
Yeah. Oh no, there's something about focus.
Oh, it didn't find the test is undefined. Seems like it didn't find it actually like it selected the component there.
Yeah. Well, replay again.
Yeah, let's replay. I hope that every time that we run into an error, we can just replay and it works.
Yeah, no, not this time.
Not this time. So it says can only be called on a valid focusable element. So I guess that we should choose the link in there. So let's use
yeah.
go to the link and try again. Okay, I'm gonna reload.
Okay, good.
Yay. So it was focused. In some ways, like this doesn't give me confidence because I don't see the visual state, the CSS visual state in there.
Yeah.
Why is it that? I wonder if it is the same problem that with the hover element.
Yeah, that would be bad news.
Well, let's see if Cypress has a note about this. If that is the case, it's not an action command. There is nothing that indicates that.
I would expect it should, like, but maybe it's maybe it's the same as with hover.
Oh yeah, it is. Look,
it is. Oh
it
yeah,
is focused.
good. Okay, so now two times replay. Next,
I feel like this is the most important thing that I've learned today. Just like hit replay every time that I'm feeling insecure.
Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, that's good news.
That's good news. Yes.
Okay, so we have, let's say that we have there, I don't know if there is a difference between the active state and the focus state.
We can check with the inspector if that's two selectors for one rule. But I would expect it is. Focus and hover is the same.
I'm gonna put this below. It'll be easier.
Yeah.
And let's move that. And it should scroll with active.
Yeah, there's nothing defined, right?
It does, but it looks very weird.
Oh.
Oh, it seems like
Strange.
that's very strange. Let me set the focus, the active state here as well. No, that's like there's definitely nothing happening if I set the state in there. But it seems like when the label gets, when the link gets the active state here, it's like partially applied. I don't know. There seems like to be some mistakes. Like I don't think that there is like it's hard to explain, but I think that probably it wasn't conceived that this link element would have the active state without something else applied.
Yeah, so it's active state of a link, not of the label. That's changing this styling of it.
Is this a bug?
I think it could be. Yeah. I'm trying to check in the application how they behave. Yeah, so I'm checking the front-end label we have in the application. It's green background, white font, and if you set active on the link, it gets the color for the link active, so that dark blue. But in this case, you can only see it on the underline, not on the text. Even more weird. Yeah, I guess we need an exclusion of that if the link is active but within the label.
But then, like, is there a way for me as a user to simulate that state? Because I did this like programmatically through the developer docs. But I don't know if like this is focus state.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but we can check that out.
You just want to add as a note.
Maybe.
I'm gonna set this here and I'm gonna make a comment. I'm gonna take a screenshot and I'm gonna make a comment in the issue. Maybe tag Jeremy on it. See what are his thoughts. Okay. Yeah, let's just continue and see and try to test another state. Another fun one that we could test is the
different colors.
The light and dark colors. Dark, light.
Should we have like dark background separate from light background?
Yeah, we could. Yeah, because it's gonna be like 2 visits. So it's let's do it in a different function. So in this is the case where we need to use the arguments function. Let's see if we can. Then we have to pass a background color argument, and this one is a dark one. So I'm gonna just use it. I don't know if I have to put the the bank symbol
Yeah.
here.
Let's see. Maybe a hash. Well.
I'm gonna try this way, and if it doesn't work, I'm gonna add the symbol. So we can just like after that run the session again.
Yeah. So far it's going great, but I would like a failing one.
Oh, come on, things are going so well.
But like not failing not because of something random, but failing because of accessibility. So we actually can like improve something.
That would be very, very cool. Like at the same time, like that speaks very well about everyone like implementing these components. So that's nice. But I think that we could do like a pairing session with one of those like older components, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Or a more complex one. Let's see if this works.
Okay, replay.
Replay,
It's the same
yeah.
error. Okay.
I don't see the background applied, right?
Is it a different color?
No, but I see that it was the parameter was applied correctly. Just like I need to add the symbol that I didn't add in the first place. So let's reload.
Yeah, yes. It was wrong. Okay.
And zero accessibility declarations. Okay, let's just like copy paste this one and just do a light color.
White.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And I just like do well, I could do white. Let me see. Just I'm gonna try in this reboot and see what happens.
Nope. Yeah, I guess it needs to be hex always.
Maybe we could do like, do you think that this is like challenging? Maybe we can do something like a little bit with color to see the contrast. So I have to remove that. Oh,
no, this one.
Yeah, I'm changing the. Let's copy this code. Just call it. So let's obviously start by reloading. Oh no, it's already running.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that works. That works.
Great.
Then we have
the close button. Yeah.
The close and scope. Yeah.
The scope.
Do those. Scope label. Let's see what is that URL. Base/label scope. How should I
there was some
specify the story?
replacing. Wait,
Let me see. We have, oh, there it is. There's a story parameter. That's the one that I am looking for. Just story. Can remove that here. Cool. So let's go back to the Cypress.
Great. This is very easy.
It is very straightforward, definitely. That's really nice. So I think that we are going to cover the entire component in a very short period of time. I have some questions for you about this, because I've been thinking, like, we're testing in the product, like entire pages, but then these pages are made of components, and then we know like these components like are satisfying some accessibility rules. So what happens? And this is like part of the complexity of testing the product instead of like of a single components. But what do you think about, like, do we need to test, let's say, like hover states in a form when we know like the component is already passing the accessibility test?
No, I don't think so. That's what we need to check is really like the things that will make it inaccessible. So like you sometimes need to pass something, like an icon button would be a good example. It's accessible on the UI repository side, but if you don't use the alternative text, it's not. So that's what we need to test in the application. So if you use the forms, majority of the things will not have to be checked, but if the question is if you put the labels for the inputs, so things like that. It's also it checks the whole page or the whole section, so it's not that it's not that much instruction like here, like check this state, check this state. It's more like I have this view, this section, check the whole one, and then you need to make a decision. Maybe there's a model that will show up or a section that will collapse, and you need to trigger those and then test them as well. But for the majority of the feature test, it will be just like this page passes checks, and that's all you need to write in the feature test, and then some tweaks with colors and alternative texts in the components.
That makes sense. Like I think that then it's like in the way that you use the component, because there are components that becomes that violate rules when you don't use them correctly. If you don't provide the accessibility name and all of that, that makes sense. So let's write the other label with close button. Let's see what is the name of that story.
With close button.
Very, very literal. Yeah. Okay, so let's go there. Let's go to the reliable reload button.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
great.
we don't have any complaint about the label components.
That's awesome. I
remember achiever.
Yeah, I remember when Rahul was excited that he found actually one violation when he was preparing the tests for this repository. Because it might be a bit confusing when everything is passing. You can't be sure it's it's actually testing what you want.
That's definitely wrong. Like it's like I'm like, yeah, it's I imagine that once we start like looking at others, but I know that the engineers and the designers in the foundation team have been doing like a lot of work to make these components accessible. So I'm gladly unsurprised. Cool. So then what do you think? I think that then these tests, if we run into other components that also have like the same level of quality, these tests become maybe a way of ensuring that these components aren't broken in the future, right?
Yes, exactly. So if there's any change to them, like new iterations or updating them to something else, we'll have something that will tell them it's still accessible. And I think that takes a lot of load from the team, because right now they're doing also job, without any automation. So there's a lot on them to actually make sure it's accessible. And this just will make it easier. What we can maybe suggest to Foundation team is that when they create a new component, they will start with tests at the beginning, so they don't have to do that much manual testing, and we'll just get output from Cypress. That might be an idea.
That's a wonderful recommendation. Yeah, it's like you get like and I know that they will have like the component like with all the states clearly defined, so it's gonna be quite easy just to map that to a story. That's a great idea. Cool. So I'm gonna then in that case, like we have like 5 minutes left.
Yeah. So we can either pair up again, or I can record myself doing one of the feature tests. I was actually thinking of putting it on YouTube, so whenever people were, because there's gonna be more work on the application side, so whoever's gonna tackle those issues may look at the video for guidance.
Well, if you like decide to work on one of them, you know, like, I think that we are in the same time zone. So if like I don't know, you could put it in the calendar, and I could join just like even to just like watch the live recording,
Yeah.
right? and see you how you do it. I would love to be there.
Great. It's not that straightforward. Like, I don't think well, I don't want to scare people, but well, the problem is if you were using components from our library and they're in the view where there's no data test ID, it's sometimes hard to find them, because you get the output and the HTML output, but you're looking for GitLab components in the file. So that's the tricky thing, I guess, in the application.
Okay. So then that means that every time that you've tried to write one of these tests, like you've found significant problems, right, in the target. So would it make sense to maybe, rather than targeting, when you implemented the scanner, the accessibility scanner, like you design it in a way in which like we are identifying feature specs that don't have the X-core check? Would it make sense, like even like this is an overwhelming amount of work, that we focus on core areas of application that will benefit from having this test running, rather than like going like every file? Because that's, I don't know if like that effort will translate to the largest amount of benefit. It's like the Pareto principle. Like maybe we can like choose just like core changes that will yield a lot of benefits.
Yes. I was thinking exactly the same, that we should start with areas that get the most of the traffic, the most popular. So that'll be, I think, the work for a working group to create first those issues and decide what we want to tackle, and only delegate those issues to do. Of course, anyone that would want to fix like any other file is welcome, but it's certainly more needs to be more curated than the migrations or view-free tests effort, where like everyone was just taking any file in the scope of their team.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds good. I know, maybe we can. I don't know if there is a way that I can help with that. I see that now that working on the components, it's gonna be an easier task. But if I can help with, I don't know, identifying those areas or working on a specific issue that is gonna have like that kind of big benefits, just let me know. We can like discuss it asynchronously.
Yeah, maybe you know how we can get the data on the most visited application pages. That would be helpful. Like have a list of them.
I don't know, but I think that if we speak to a product manager, they should have like a dashboard where we can see that information. I'm gonna ask my product manager for some guidance.
Great.
Awesome.
Okay, awesome. Thanks. Let me stop the recording.